Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to my guitar lessons, and today we're going to be doing Bittersweet Memories by Bullet for My Valentine. So I had a request to do this one recently, and I thought to myself, oh, that'll probably be quite a nice, easy, straightforward lesson to do. But once I started digging into the song a little bit, I realized that there's a couple of things in there that are quite easy to miss. And if you don't know about them, it can lead to quite a bit of frustration when trying to work out what's being played. So I want to take you through all the rhythm parts, all the lead parts, all the sort of twists and turns that happen within the song, because like I said, there's some weird stuff going on in there. We're going to do all the rhythm parts first, and then I'll take you through all the leads and the overlays at the end. So the first thing that I want to mention is the source material that I used to work this song out. Usually what I do when I'm breaking a song down is I'll obviously listen to the track, but I'll try and watch as many live performances as possible just to see how the guitar players are actually playing things, and it'll give me more of an accurate representation of what's going on. So the live performance videos that I've used, I'll stick them on screen now. They really helped me in terms of working out what was going on with the lead parts. If you guys want to have those videos open next to this video just to sort of check to see if what I'm going on about is right, please feel free to do so. But those are the main ones that I've used alongside the track, and hopefully you'll be able to see via watching those as well as this where I'm coming from. So the next thing that I want to mention is the tuning for this song. Usually with Bullet for My Valentine, you got like 3 tunings, right? You got drop C, D standard, and drop B, okay? The Fever era, they were still kind of in their drop C mode, okay? But with this song, there's a little bit of a twist to our drop C tuning, and I will explain everything. So in the live situation, Matt and Padge tune their guitars differently, which kind of made sense when I saw Matt using a white Les Paul on the Temper Temper tour for this song. You know, usually he's got his signature guitars back in those sort of eras, whether it was his Jacksons on the Fever tour or his BC Riches. But yeah, he was sporting this white Les Paul for this song, and I was thinking, that's odd. He has been known to break a Les Paul out before, but still there was just something that didn't quite add up. And that's because that guitar is actually tuned different to Padge's and probably the rest of his guitars as well. So Padge is tuned to a normal drop C, which is a C, G, C, F, A, D, as we know it. But Matt's is actually tuned to a C, G, C, F, A sharp, D. Okay, so it's your second string that you're going to be knocking up by a half step, believe it or not. And I didn't believe it either until I started just digging and watching things. And what led me to believe that is Matt's actually hitting quite a lot of open notes on the lead sections. And if you follow what he's doing fret-wise, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work. He's hitting some open notes in there, which sound absolutely great, but on a standard drop C tune guitar, they just don't work, okay? Plus the frets that he's going to, they would be all out as well for your usual drop C tuning. So that introduced a bit of a new problem, which is, you know, when I do these lesson videos, I know you guys probably want to be able to play the songs front to back. So I was thinking, how am I going to show you guys, you know, how this thing's actually played whilst going back and forth between both tunings? That's just going to be really hard. So what I've worked out is a way for you guys to play this thing front to back, exactly the way Matt does, and a slight change to what Padge does with his standard tune drop C guitar. So it's not much of a difference. It's literally one finger that you're going to be changing, the clean section. But other than that, you should be able to play this song front to back in this tuning, just like Bullet for My Valentine do live. So once again, just to recap, the tuning that you've got is C, G, C, F, A sharp, D. Okay? Stick with me on this. Watch the videos. You'll see that's what Matt's tuned to. So get yourselves in tune, and let's get all the rhythm guitars done, and then I can show you the leads afterwards. So for the most part, the rhythms are going to be really easy in this song. We should breeze through them in absolutely no time at all. The only problem that I encountered when I was working them out is what to do strumming pattern-wise, and I found that the best thing to do for the big choruses and the big intro and all that is just to follow the kick pattern. Okay, if you listen to the kick drums, that's pretty much what's going on with the guitars. So I'll play the intro through for you, and just follow me where I go. It's really self-explanatory. It's your basic power chords relative to drop C tuning. So we're going to start off on the 3rd fret here, and I'll play it through for you. Okay, so that is your intro. Really self-explanatory stuff there. Just follow my strumming. Okay, it's just starting off on your power chord on the 6th and 5th string. First finger flat, 3rd fret. Then you're going to go to your open. Then you've got this B flat power chord right here. 1 and 3, 5th and 4th string. And then that comes up to C. 3 and 5, okay? And then in the middle of that, you're going to put a big whoosh, a big slide, okay? So okay, so it'll be... Okay, then you repeat. Okay, and the only thing you're going to do different at the end of that is you're going to stick a big sort of chug on the end, and that's what takes you through over into the verses, okay? So next we'll move over into verse number 1. This is going to serve you for all your verses, actually. This is where things get a little bit tricky, just because you'll see Padge holding a different sort of chord live. Usually... for this song, and it was probably even tracked this way, okay? But again, we're going for like the live sort of thing, so you can play this song front to back, section to section, right? Usually you'd see Padge holding this sort of chord, which is the Hearts Burst Into Fire, Dirty Little Secret. You know, they've done this chord a heck of a lot. But this isn't going to work now, because listen to what it sounds like. Yeah, okay, it results in that. So the shape that you're actually going to go for to get this is that instead, okay? And that is, you're just going to be taking your 3rd finger, and you're going to go 3rd string, 5th fret. Your pinky's going to go directly underneath, and that's the only finger that's different. If you want to play this in drop C tuning and forget about the funky tuning and don't bother with the leads, just bring your pinky over into 6th fret. You've got that classic Bullet for My Valentine shaped chord that they've used a lot. But again, relative to this tuning, pinky's going to be sat in 5th fret, okay? And the chord you get is that. Okay? So it's going to start off something like this. Okay? Just follow my picking. Okay? And the only thing that's going to change there is sort of your root note. If you like, we're just going to be moving the root note around, the first note that we're going to be hitting on the chord. So the first one that we start off is we just start off on the open 6th string twice. Okay? And then Matt starts singing, and that's where the verse kind of properly starts, okay? And it goes something like this. Okay, and that's it. Like I said, I know I'm repeating myself here, but if you're in normal drop C tuning, just budge your pinky over into 6th fret, 2nd string, and you'll have exactly the same thing. It's just one note that we're moving along due to the tuning, okay? So you start off on the open 6th string. Like that. You do that twice. Nice and easy. Then you take your 1st finger, and you're going to go over onto 3rd fret, 5th string. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your 1st finger off, and you've got open A. So open 5th string. And you're going to do it once. And then you're going to end it with a... Okay? On the 1st, 2nd, 3rd string. Okay? So altogether, it's fairly straightforward. It's just the tuning that makes things difficult to put together. So altogether. Okay, and the only one thing to watch out for there is you go back to your root note each time. So when I'm going, I'm hitting the string that I started on each time. So when I come over to 3rd fret 5th string, I'm hitting it again. And then when I go to the open, and again, and then you finish it. Okay, so that's your first part of the verse, and then what it does is it basically repeats, but you just knock the first 2 off on the open. So all together. And that's it. That's your verse. And when the verse comes back in later on, it's exactly the same thing. You're going to do that later on. So make sure that you're happy with that. And yeah, that's it. Just for argument's sake, I'll show you what Padge is doing live for that clean section. It's literally going to be exactly the same picking pattern. Okay? Your pinky's just going to be sat here on 6th fret rather than in 5th fret. So, you know, the way I see it is if you wanted to play this thing front to back with all the leads and stuff, you might as well just tune the guitar the way Matt has his guitar tuned. But like I said, if you just wanted to play this part, here it is. There it is in normal drop C tuning for those guys who are wanting to just play it without having to tune the guitar all weird. So next we'll move over into pre-chorus number 1. This is going to serve you for all your pre-choruses, so just make sure you're happy with this riff because it will serve you later on. And I'll play it through for you and then we'll take a look. Okay, something like that. So you're going to start off on this octave chord, which is 8 and 10. Okay, so leave a gap. We've talked about octave chords before in our lessons. You guys should know what they are by this point. Just make sure you get your fingers nice and flat so you can strum without getting like that string in the middle that you're trying to mute off. And the pattern looks something like this. Okay, so that's your first part. Then what they do live is they kind of move down to this sort of single note thing. You could bring the octave chord back, okay? 1 fret each, and just give that a bit of a bend if you wanted to. But there is actually an overlay on there of like a single note going, which is your 9th fret 3rd string. It's a half step bend like that and letting it back to stationary position. That's what they do live as well, so you'll see Matt going like that. And after that, you've got on your open chugs, okay? So far, something like that. And again. Then you've got this big run that comes down. Okay? Something like that, okay? Again, if I didn't watch the live shows, and I hope you guys are watching the live shows alongside this on YouTube, because they're your reference points. You know, I didn't notice that until I watched those. So it's just going to be a walk down on the 5th string, okay? And you're going to do pull-offs with it as well, so... Okay, so the frets you've got are 8, 7, 5, 3. And in between each one, you're going to stick a down palm mute on the 6th string, okay? So you've got... Like that. So far. Okay. Then what you're going to do, start it the same way again. Then you're going to do this walk up. And that's literally just octave chords. You're going to do 3s and 5s, 5s and 7s, 9s and 7s, and then finish it at 10 and 8. So you got... It stops right there. The one thing to note, there is another guitar there. I'm pretty sure it might be Padge's guitar live. It just stays on the 3rd for the entire run, and it kind of like builds up this harmony part. So, you know, Matt or Padge, whoever's doing it, will be going like... But the other guitar is just going... Okay, and if you listen to the record, you can hear that happening as well. So literally that's it. Just make your choice. Either stay on that 3rd fret one or do the walk up. Okay, so all together. Okay, and that is your pre-chorus. So the next thing we have is chorus number 1. This is going to serve you for all your choruses. Okay, so again, make sure you're happy with this. It's very similar to the intro. You're just going to be hanging out on some of the chords for longer, and just again follow me. It's very, very straightforward. It's the same chords as the intro, just played a little bit differently. So here we go. Okay, nothing too difficult there. You're just following the kick pattern with your strumming. You could, if you wanted to, just strum it straight like that if you wanted to. But I found this was the best way to get it to flow. So you got 2 sets on the 3. And you got your open. Then you got your B flat, 3 and 1. Power chord right there on the 5th and 4th string. You play that twice and you end it with a chug on the open, just like earlier. So that's literally it. So that is your chorus. That takes you through into verse number 2, which is exactly the same thing. So don't need to do that. And you'll see how this tuning has only affected one thing so far as well, and that is literally your verse chords. So good news. Next, that takes you over to the pre-chorus number 2. It's exactly the same thing, like I said. Chorus number 2 is exactly the same thing, and then that takes us over into the bridge section, and I'll play the rhythms for you now. Again, it's just more power chord strumming. Follow me, go where I go. Dead straightforward. So I'll play it through for you now. Let's go. Very, very straightforward. First one is on the open. Next one, on your B flat power chord, 1 and 3. Then the next one is on 3rd fret power chord, 6 and 4th, 5th string. Then you finish up on your C power chord right here, okay, which is your 3 and 5. So again, I'll play that through for you. So that is literally it. Easiest bullet lesson I've done so far anyway. That takes us over into pre-chorus number 3. You're just going to do exactly the same thing with your walk down and the octave chords and all that stuff. So very, very straightforward. Next, that takes you through to the break. And this kind of speaks for itself, but just to be thorough, it's going to be far easier for me to play this for you than break it down. It's very simple. Just check it out. It's all on one chord. Something like that. Just follow the rhythm guitar on the track, and that'll take you through that section. Very, very easy stuff. That then takes you over into chorus number 3. Guess what? It's the same thing as all your previous choruses. And then what happens is the chorus moves straight into the outro, which is basically your intro guitars. So you can literally play your intro rhythm guitars for that outro part. Very, very straightforward, very simple. But I guess at that point, you guys are probably going to want to be playing the lead that's over the top of it. But just to be thorough, I thought I'd mention that. And then that takes us over into all the lead sections, okay, which is where this funky tuning comes into it. You know, why I've had you in this weird tuning right the way through it. This is where it comes in, and hopefully you'll start to see now where this comes in. Okay, so we're going to go right the way back to the start of the song and work our way through all of the lead sections. And there was some really good live footage on YouTube, like I've mentioned, really close-in videos of Matt playing this, which really helped me work this stuff out. And I'll show you the first lead. So I'll show you sort of like the higher main one and the Matt plays live, and then I'll show you the lower one. So the first one you've got is this. Okay, nothing too difficult there. It's just you've got to really control those half-step bends, okay? Otherwise it'll sound like dying cats. All right, so you've got to really have in your mind firmly how far you're going to take those bends up, okay, to bend them to pitch. So you're going to be on this second string now, and you're going to start off. And the funny thing is, there's probably tabs online with the standard drop C tuning where this is all probably quite accurate relative to drop C. You could play these parts in normal drop C tuning if you wanted to. But again, this is the way Matt's tuned live. So you're going to start off on 7th fret, 2nd string. And you're going to pick and pull on 9. Okay. Then pinky comes up. And you do 10th fret, 3rd string. And then back. So you got. Then you're going to repeat, but this time land on 9th fret, 3rd string. Okay, so you've got. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do this this hammer on and pull off, and hammer on again on your 7 and 9 2nd string. And once you land on the 9, pick it again and send it up by a half step. Okay. Okay, and then what you've got is sort of like the second part, if you like to finish that off. So all together. Then what you do to complete that is you pick 9th fret, 2nd string, okay? Okay, so that's the first half. Second part is exactly the same, but at the end, you're going to slide down and pick 7th fret, 3rd string, okay? So right at the end, you're going to throw that on at the end. So I'll play it through for you. The second half would be this. okay? If you put those two things together, you will get your higher sort of guitar for the intro lead. Then what you've got for that intro is a lower sort of harmony guitar if you like, and I'll play that through for you now and then I'll break it down. Okay, it sounds really, really sort of strange, if I'm honest with you, on its own. But if you're recording this, if you're going to do a cover of this, or even if you were to play along with the track, you'll hear how that harmonizes with the higher part that sort of sounds like it makes more sense, okay? But the two really do complement one another. So what have we got? We're lower down now. We've got 4 to 5. It's the same sort of patterns. You're going to do your pick. Hammer and pull. Pinky comes up over onto 7th fret 3rd string. Then back. And sit on 4th fret for a little bit. Like that. Then, similar sort of thing. But you're going to land on 5th fret 3rd string instead this time. Okay. Then, you've got your the same sort of thing where you're going to do a bend. So you've got your double hammer on and pull. Once you land on 5th fret, send it up, and that's a whole step bend. Okay, then it's the second part again, and then you're going to finish that run on a 5th fret 2nd string. Okay, so all together. Just sounds too happy to be a Bullet song. So that's your first half, and the next half is exactly the same thing again, but at the end you're going to slide your 5 down to 2nd fret 3rd string. Okay, so that would look something like this. Okay, and that is literally it. Very, very straightforward stuff right there. So that is your intro guitar leads, if you like, both the high one and the low one. Remember that, because that is basically going to be the outro guitars. I think it's just cut short a little bit on the outro, but it's literally the same guitar parts. That takes us over to the bridge, and this is where this funky tuning that we've been using really comes into its own, okay? So the part that was confusing me is the section is obviously like a drone note section, which means you've got underneath the fretted notes, you've got like an open string underneath, which was absolutely fine in drop C, just moving back and forth between 5th and 6th fret, okay? But then what Matt seemed to do live is hit like all these open notes, and in the standard drop C tuning, it literally just doesn't work. Let me show you. So I've just knocked my 2nd string back down to an A, right? So C, G, C, F, A, D, right? Normal drop C tuning. So I can do the first part of it, check this out. Then, what is that? And that's what he seems to be doing live, okay? And it's just not it, right? But then upon further investigation, I watched even closer, and he's playing back on the 4th and 5th fret. So it's like, okay, well, let's give that a go. Completely different key, okay? That's a place where you belong. Basically, he's nicked the same thing from it, but it's a completely different key, okay? So those notes will just not work, and those fret positions will not work in this key, which is what led me to believe that the guitar is tuned up on that string, and that is the only explanation I've got for it, okay? So I'm going to knock myself back up, and then I'll show you the leads. So your first bridge section lead guitar is going to be the lower one. This is what Matt plays live, okay? And then a higher one comes in halfway through, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this is your first one. Okay, so it's very, very sort of straightforward stuff there. It is played twice, but there's just one sort of variation in the, at the end of the first part. Okay, so slowly, and I've got that open first string ringing out underneath everything. Okay, so I've got 4 to 5. Then you're going to hit the open strings. Watch that live in the concert. Okay, that's where he sort of like comes away from the fretboard. That's the tuning coming into its own there, saving us. So you've got. Then what you've got is this. That is 9 to 10. 7 to 9. So you got. Then you land on 5. Okay, so you've got. Then you start it again. Then what you've got is this. So that is. So that's 9 to 10. Back to 9. Then 7 to 9. Back to 7. And then what you do is that. Okay, so that is. He's sort of picking the single notes there as well. I'm not so sure he has the drone note underneath there. But you can catch it. It'll still be in key. No problem at all. But yeah, so you're just going to do 5, 4, 5, and then pick 5 again and slide up to 7. Okay, so that's... Okay, so that entire first section. Then it starts again, pretty much the same way. Then what you do is you end it this way. Okay, so that's... Very, very straightforward, self-explanatory stuff right there. Sounds really jolly on its own. One thing to bear in mind, actually, is this song is pretty much in a major key. Yeah. How you want to think of it, it's almost like a song that's in the key of G major on a standard tune guitar, if you like. You're constantly sort of going off of that third fret right there. And so that kind of makes these all very sort of like major scale shapes and patterns, if you like. So if it's sounding a little bit jolly, play these parts with the track and you'll see how it sort of sinks back into bullet mode. So that is your lower guitar for the bridge. I'll show you the higher one now. And this only comes in halfway through, okay? So it's something like this. Okay. I'd have clicked off by now, but believe it or not, that is it. It just sounds far too happy. But generally, higher harmonies, they kind of do have like a little bit more of an uplifting thing going on with them. You put those two parts together, you'll get your bridge section. Okay, so you're just going to be starting up on 7 to 9 this time, and then your opens. Then you're going to be going up to your 12s and 14s, back to 12s and 10s. Okay, so you got... And then you'll land on your 9. Then it repeats. Then it's the same sort of run. Okay, slow. Make sure you're happy with that, because the break and the bridge is pretty much the same as that. And having said that, the break section is next, which is before the last chorus. That's where he hangs on that big fat power chord right there. And basically, you've got a run through of those bridge leads, but you're going to sort of like quip it early on if you like. So I'll just play through the lower guitar for you first. It looks something like. You kind of cut it right there on 4th fret. Just like that, okay? The higher guitar, very similar. Again, you're just cutting it short. Stopping it right there on 7th fret. And that's your little break section. And then that is pretty much the guitar lesson over, okay? It's that simple. The only other thing that I would mention is that sort of outro section after the chorus, where these drone guitars come back in again. They pretty much play the same thing that they play in the bridge. It's just the lower guitar doesn't do the thing in the middle of it. It just repeats the second half twice. So it's literally just the same thing. You're just going to be playing it from the second half onward. But that's literally it. There's no need to overcomplicate this anymore. A lot of you probably already know how to play this song, but hopefully the little bit there about the tuning and stuff has helped you guys who can't quite get it to sound like the way Matt does in the live situation. And yeah, that is studio trickery for you, or even live performance trickery. Like I said, I hate to do these things without showing you guys where it comes from. So if you go and watch the videos and watch where Matt's playing, you'll see him sat around that 4th fret region, okay, 4 to 5, and you'll see him hitting the first 2 strings open quite a bit. And that's how he's getting away with that. The only last thing to note there is sort of the ending leads with the... that section there, that is literally just your intro leads. The first part of it, played once, and you just hang on that last note until fade. And that's literally it. That is all your guitar parts for this song. So there you go, guys. I guess that's the lesson. A little bit of a weird one today. Quite a straightforward song to play. But yeah, just some weird trickery going on with the tuning in order to get all those open notes in there. But hopefully, for those of you who wanted to learn this song, I've done it justice. Hopefully it's all making sense. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're new here and you like what you've seen today and want more, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you like Bullet for My Valentine, I've got a shared ton of lessons that I've done over the years, full song breakdowns with all the parts and stuff. Just go over to my playlists or scroll back on my channel, and yeah, there's loads of songs that I've covered by them. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.